Hello and Namaste. I am Ketan Kang from 192 Consulting. In last week, we discussed about the concept of unclaimed dividend. Today, we are going to discuss the advanced part of the concept of the unclaimed dividend. Now, in today's video, we are going to talk about the transfer of the unclaimed dividend to the IPF or Investor Education and Protection Fund. Investors have to understand this very carefully that the unpaid dividend into that account which is opened by the company is not going to stay there forever. There is a particular time span to it. So we will also try and understand what is the time span and where does it actually get transferred, the amount of unpaid and unclaimed dividend. For this, I would cite a legal provision, that is section 124, section 124 of the Companies Act 2013. What does this section say? It says that if an amount of dividend remains unpaid or unclaimed for a period of 7 consecutive years, then it has to be transferred to the Investor Education and Protection Fund. This Investor Education and Protection Fund is governed by the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority under the aegis of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Before going ahead, we need to understand the concept of 7 consecutive years. This is very important for the investors to understand. Why? Because the term says 7 consecutive years and not merely 7 years. The word consecutive is very important. So, if a dividend remains unclaimed for 6 years, 6 consecutive years, and the shareholder somehow claims the dividend or the check of the dividend which is received by him in the 7th year, then that chain is broken and the shares and the dividends will not get transferred to IP. Only if the shares or the dividends have remained unclaimed for 7 consecutive years, then in that case or in those cases only, the shares will get transferred to the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. One more very important thing the investors should understand over here is that there is an amendment which came in 2015. We have been talking about the concept of unpaid dividends, unclaimed dividends, but due to this amendment, there is a big change that has come in. Now, what is this change? The amendment of 2015 states that in case the dividend remains unclaimed for that particular period, that is 7 consecutive years, then not only the amount of dividend, but the shares on which that dividend is accrued will also get transferred to the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. This amendment has a larger context. The shareholders do not hold the shares anymore because of the introduction of this amendment, and then the shares, the asset as well as the corporate benefits accruing on those assets are also transferred to the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. Investors are not aware of this. Many investors have share certificates at their homes and they are under the impression that they hold that asset, but actually in effect the asset or the shares have been transferred to the government account. In upcoming videos, we will deal with the procedural aspects of reclaiming of those videos so that investors can be independent enough to do the procedures themselves. And in case if you have any queries regarding reclaiming of the shares from IPF or reclaiming of dividend amount from IPF, then you can feel free connect to us by marking your comments in the comment section of this video, or you can also write an email to us on info@192.in. This is Ketan Kang signing off for the time being. Thanks a lot.